In 2002, following 3 years of service as a combat engineer in the Canadian Armed Forces, Kyle Dallum would leave the military and return to everyday life, something which would prove more difficult than he ever could have imagined.
There was no normal everyday life for me. It was a lot of drinking, a lot of anger, a lot of frustration.
He was scared, angry, lonely, miserable. I feared for his safety.
The symptoms were the result of post-traumatic stress disorder, something Dallum still deals with today. In the spring of 2016, while taking part in an equine rehabilitation program, he was presented a handmade quilt, a simple gesture, but one which would have a profound impact on his recovery.
For nearly a decade after I got out of the military, there was no recognition of anything. You know, I never heard thank you for your service or anything like that. This is a reminder that there are people out there that care and have a personal connection to the services.
Inspired by the impact the quilt had on her son, Cindy Posnikoff would eventually start a local branch of nationwide organization, Quilts of Valour, and has since presented more than 30 quilts to local veterans.
We present Quilts of Valour, and they are made with love and hugs by the quilters. It's all about supporting and advocating for these guys and women, and part of that is showing appreciation.
Each quilt is hand-sewn and paid for by volunteer quilters like Audrey Johnston and her group, the Material Girls, who were excited to be involved.
Hearing about the people that Cindy works with and realizing that a lot of them felt quite alone and that they hadn't received a lot of recognition. So it's nice to be able to give something back and show some kind of appreciation.
It's just knowing that you're having this impact. I'm doing something that I love. You know, they joined the Army out of love for our country. I think a quilt is like one of the best ways to thank a person.
We all have family that have served, so it's been really good sharing those stories, and it brings it really close to home.
We've talked about our families the whole time. We laughed and we were singing, and there is so much sewn into this quilt.
The group is now working on their second project, a series of hug blocks which, when complete, will be distributed across Canada before being assembled with other hug blocks, forming a cross-Canada Quilt of Valour.
Something I'm making is now could end up in a quilt that is given to someone anywhere in Canada.
Since 2006, more than 11,000 quilts have been presented through the Quilts of Valour program, serving as a constant reminder for veterans like Dallum that people care.
I think for anybody who is feeling so alone and so outcast, having this kind of a reminder is one of those things that can be a real positive tool with their recovery and their treatment plans.
For more information or to get involved in the program, visit quiltsofvalour.ca. For the community producers in Kimberley, I'm Donna Granger.